a reminder. For me, it's been a really big reminder of where my mind was during those times when I was just like really in the trenches. And I actually appreciate this book because I learned this stuff, like a lot of this stuff, I learned this stuff by doing. Like I didn't have these principles to hang on to. Like I literally learned this stuff by like navigating and just being committed to the process. And so to be reminded and now have principles to stand on so that I'm not wavering, that is something that I appreciate from this read. So we'll go ahead and start sharing takeaways, popcorn style. So whoever wants to share can go ahead and kick us off.
All right, I'll hop in. I'm just gonna share a couple of my takeaways that it was some stuff that I had learned. It's so crazy. Some stuff that I had learned from church. And my pastor, he talks about logos, and when they talked about ethos, logos, and pathos, how I'm not saying it correctly, but it had it was just like a nudge, like I'm always evolving, I'm always learning, regardless the space and what I'm supposedly supposed to take from it. But some things that I dived into and delved into um, was like going on tilt. And I was like, oh, I've been there. Like I've gone on tilt. Like, and where you're allowing your emotions to like throw you out of whack. Um, and I would say one other thing that the takeaways I took from this reading was I have to one I had to give myself permission again to retrain my brain, thinking just because I do spiritual development, personal development every day doesn't mean that I necessarily gave myself permission to retrain my brain, but also being intentional with failing. So putting myself in those instances, um, like, okay, the 20 stones was like, okay, I need to be tangible. I need to go do it. You can't think yourself like, oh, this is how I'm gonna react or this is how I'm gonna deal with it. You actually got to go out and do it. Um, and setting those goals. Like I think we talked about it last week and I mentioned setting those goals. I wasn't consistent throughout the week with that. And so I know I want to improve there with setting my no goals and my failure goals. Um, a lot of stuff we covered in this chapter also touched on stuff that we talk about in this space where keeping that drip going, follow up in the field, like your follow up, just keep following up. And then what let me tell y'all what really stuck out to me was I think I was placing a higher value on how I look than I did on impacting other people's lives. That was like, ooh, that was like, because that's been me. Like I'm like, oh, I gotta look good, I gotta, because my ideology was, I had to look good to become rich, and that's not the case. Like I had to look a certain part. I had to look a certain way. My social media, everything about my story, had to look a certain. My mess had to look a certain way for me to become who I am going towards. And yes, that's who I'm going towards. That's and being rich, not only financially, but just rich in relationships, rich in life. I was like, oh, you gotta show where you're going. It's like, girl, that's not where you at though. Like it's okay, And so that was something that that came up against me, and I was like, ooh, I had to deal with that. Like, all right, girl. But yeah, those are a couple of the key things that impacted me in the reading.
That's good. I'm gonna hop in really quick. One that I really, really liked was when they said, when your possibilities are few and far between, each possibility takes an enormous significance. And so that's really big with the numbers, because it's a numbers game and reaching out to people and having enough people to even fuel and feed off of. And so when you get that one no, it'll knock you off your square if you've only talked to 10 people. And so understanding that having more possibilities the one no won't be significant as, as it seems. And then also, something to remember, the next prospect deserves your best presentation. So even if you don't feel like it, even if the last presentation didn't go well, the next one still deserves your best. It deserves you to show up as your best self, not holding them accountable to what the others did. And just also another one that I really like was infinitely being more focused on the process than the result. And so the process of sending the messages out, the process of putting the posts up, the process of working my business consistently, no matter what, and not being so hung up on a one yes or whatever, like literally changing that perspective around. And then it was one other one. Oh, so at the end when he was saying there's no better, well, actually Jim Rohn said it, there's no better recruiting tool than a compelling story. And so that really resonated with me because 90% of the customers that I've signed this month has been geared towards me telling my story. Like it was because I told my story and how I was directly affected by the products that took them over to the next side of like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna try it. Oh, you did this. Okay, let me try it. What did you try? So having that story to tell, whether it's on products or business, is what's key. And I'm learning that even more. It was like you knew it, but it was like even more. It's like, okay, have a story to tell, or have somebody else's story to tell in the process of you having your own. So.
Yeah. Hey y'all. So, something that stood out to me, well, when he was talking about the presentation, because that's for me, like not trying to, like not doing it, not. Okay. He's talking about the presentation. He's talking about the quantity versus the quality. Like how you need to focus on how many times you can get in front of people and talk, and not necessarily like how good the words will flow and things like that. Because that's something that I struggle with. Like when I get in front of people, like just letting it just flow naturally. Like Brittany did see me try to blink a few times, and it's not the best, But just continuing to do it and not really necessarily focus on like what I'm trying to say and just genuinely being myself. And when he was talking about having like a plethora of prospects, like sometimes we have this, so we be like, okay, I got one person that's supposed to sign up Friday, and then we get to Friday and then they not there. So then we like, man, like it feels like now I have nobody to follow up with. I don't have nobody. I was banking on that one person. So like not really putting yourself in a position like that because that does hurt. And if we're not really signing, it's really just a matter of we're not reaching out to enough people, which we know that we've heard that, and it's just like, hearing it reiterated in the book is like, like it's just confirmation, like, yeah, I need to reach out to more people because obviously if it's not, my fruit is not showing in that. And how to emotionally detach them from a no. So like not going into it like emotionless, like when you connecting with the person, but being prepared that even if they say no, you're okay. Like it's like of course, like they say, you're gonna naturally be more excited when you hear a yes, but also being able to have the same like demeanor when you hear no. And not because when you hear the no, like if you don't treat yes and no as the same they were talking about, like when you hear the no, it's like you just completely like just go down spiral. You're like, oh Lord, nobody wants to do it. When you hear a yes, it's just like, your word, the whole day is made. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be the same, rather you hearing yes or no. So like treating them the same. And then like best way about getting, thank you for my $500. That was good. And the best way to get past rejection is to put yourself in a position where you're getting rejected so that you can get used to it. Just like anything else, like it's just a muscle. So like getting that thing to, and that's for me too, because it's not that, well, I guess when it boils down to it, I don't like to be told no or be rejected. Like it's like in business, I feel like I've mastered that in other areas and in my life. But like when it comes to business, it's just like, man, I'm not about to ask them. I do not want them to say no. I do not want them to say no. So like just really just like offering the parties, offering like can I come sit up at this place or whatever, and then already like not going in it like with a negative mindset, but just being like you said, even if they say no, it's like okay, well I'm just gonna go to the next stop. I'm not gonna stop just because one person said no. So oh, and he told the story. If somebody wrote that, he told the story about how he I forgot who it was, but anyway, they told the story about how he was prospecting a woman. He had her come to an event. She left early. Then he had her go to Dave Buster's, and then she signed. So just it reminded me to be innovative, like not like fully going out of my lane, like doing what I know is best, but also like trying to reach different color personalities. So whether I tell my story like I'm traveling, or is it like who am I trying to empathize with today? So yeah, in a multiple exposure. Um,
That was good. So for me, like I said, it took me back to the numbers game. Like, and I love math, so numbers are fun for me. Like that's why it's fun for me to chart. It's fun for me to see the numbers go down. Like I love it. And so, just looking at prospecting as a sorting process, like it's a numbers game, just like sorting through, and just it's not like, oh, I got what he say, he made like 200 calls or something, 186 of them said no. It's like not saying like, oh, I got 186 no's. It's like, no, I'm sorting through and sifting through, like Robin said, falling in love with the process. But not only do you gotta, this one was for me, not only do you gotta sort through potentials to find distributors, you gotta sort through distributors to find leaders. So sometimes I can get impacted. Like he told that story about, oh, I partnered with this person. We was about to do it big, and then they just quit. And then like it just put you in a place. And I have experienced that on multiple levels, multiple times. And I can say that it has impacted me way more than a potential telling me no. Like somebody that I actually invested in, partner with, like piecing out on me, like that's a big blow for me, or it has been. And so just looking at it like, nah, bro, like you sorted out the people to say yes, but you still got to sort through the people that say yes to find your rock stars. And then that take me to how he was talking about you got to at least enroll 20 to 30 people to find one runner. So if you haven't enrolled 20 to 30 people, why are you butthurt? And then for every 20 to 30 people you enroll, you're going to find your runner. So how quickly can you enroll 20 to 30 people so you can find your one? And so even breaking it down, like I told you, I'm like a math person. I'm green when it comes to that. But like just breaking it down, okay, how many, like you said, I'm going to do this many presentations a year, this many presentations a week, and then I should have this many people in 2 years. So like breaking it down like that and just making it a game, like it just really brought this back to being a game. Like it's a game with a purpose. So it's not just like, oh, I'm just gonna, just be out here just shooting, but it's a game with a purpose, and it brought it back to being fun for me. So you blues out there, like how can you put it in a place to where it's a game for you, so then it can be fun for you? I mean, that's literally what it took me back to. And then even which I was talking about, the quantity versus the quality, like how you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Like just get out there, just get in front of people, talk to as many people as you can. Again, it will increase your numbers, which in turn will increase your wins. What else? Yes, how you got to be in a neutral zone. Like, no should not deflate you, and yes should not like inflate you. Like it should be like an equal balance. Going back to the some will, some won't. So what? Because someone is waiting. So not allowing the no's to distract you or slow you down when somebody is literally out there waiting for this. And I say it all the time. Somebody is ready to purchase every single day. Somebody is ready to sign up every single day. It's about, are you willing to go find that person? Are you willing to sift through all of the mess to find the person who's ready today? Because there is somebody every single day. I believe that with my heart. Every single day, there's somebody who wants to purchase and there's somebody who wants to sign up. Are you willing to do the work to get to them? And it's okay for people to say no. It's quite all right for them to say no. Like, and so you can't take it personally, because most of the time it's a reflection. 99% of the time it's a reflection of them. It has nothing to do with you, your product, none of that. It's a reflection of the person that's saying no, and how they're saying no 9 times out of 10 out of ignorance, because they don't know, they don't understand. And so that's why it's important to take them from exposure to exposure, so that they can start to understand and get a brain cell for what you're offering them. And yes, Cass, I wrote that down. Are you more committed to looking good rather than getting rich and helping others? Like, that was like, I literally had to write the question down and like really just think like, dang, I'm more committed to what I look like and my image and everything, versus just getting nitty gritty and getting in the trenches and getting dirty and getting rich, and then turn around and helping other people get rich with me, or get, healthy or whatever. With me. So yes, this was a good section.
Yeah, Brittany, and it was, even when we were reading it, it was to the point, like, what really smacked me across the face. At first I was like, oh, about the look, trying to look, do I want to look good? But when they said, are you more committed to feeling confident? I said, okay, now. I feel like, I'm like, you really in my business, because we want to be confident. We always talk about it, confidence and confidence. It's like, okay, because I want to be confident, but is that more of my focus than assisting and helping other people? And it's just like, ooh. One thing you had said, and anybody who else want to hop in, but one thing also reading this section that we just read, it also had me thinking about my leadership. I know we cover all the bases with helping my new distributor. So I was like, how can I help navigate my new distributors? And I was like, you know what? You could actually ask questions, like ask them like, hey, can you be neutral? Asking that question, can you be neutral if your mom or your sister, your aunt say yes or no? And then being able to pivot, like, okay, maybe I don't start them right off with their warm market, because they can't be neutral if they're honest, right? And so I was thinking about that. I'm like, okay, so how can I implement this with my leadership? Because, okay, if they can't pivot, but I know I have to ask the question. I have to start bringing, can you be neutral, into the conversation? And so and then how can I pivot from there, and not just doing a one size fits all type of thing.
Yep. I was thinking about that too. I was like, okay, we need to switch it up. We don't need to be, or we need to be just doing a party, because we neutral. And we can take if they family say yes or no, and not having them like, I was Cass. Yep, we right here with that.
Because we cover all bases. So we cover all bases, but it was just like for me to help people and help them faster, and then how can I also start working with them to get out their feelings with no, because it's like sometimes my leadership, because I'm talking about me here, is like, I'd be like, all right, we'll get to that when we cross that bitch. Like, we got that bridge, we'll cross that. We'll cross that. You try to get over the no, go read GoPro, because that's to help people get over the no. We have things implemented, but sometimes it's them sitting and looking in the mirror, like, them having that hard truth, like, you got to get over it, and where is that coming from? And I personally dug into I didn't like hearing no as a kid. I was like, and that's as an adult, and I didn't feel bad about it, because they said everybody like that. I said, because we human. I said, okay, thank God, but who? It's like, it's me choosing. So this business is me also choosing to go against the grain, because I'm choosing for more.
Yes. I was even thinking, in terms of leadership, more so having them focus on no's, like not even focusing on the yes, like switching it all up. Like, how many no's can you get? Like, when he was saying, like, if you get 20 no's, you for sure will sign somebody. So go out and get 20 people to tell you no, you for sure get a customer, or like, even just. And then when they were talking about the I'm sorry, I'm mute after this. When they were talking about the sending them out to like the neighborhood without no like lead list or nothing, and they had to knock on the door and say, you don't want to, get insurance. Like I like switching our message up, like, you don't want to make extra income, do you? Like, you don't want to get healthy, do you? Don't want to grow your hair, do you? Like, just really like sifting through the people who really don't want what I have so I can get to the people who do. So yeah. Okay, I'm quiet.
Hey y'all, I hop in and say a little quick something. I just started reading the book. Actually, I'm in the process of like finding and sifting through all the resources online to like find, I guess, an uninterrupted book for some reason, or until I can buy one. But I just started and I was like, okay, even though you really just don't know much of what's going on in the book, I still wanted to come and sit and listen to what y'all had to say to see what I could learn. Because boy, let me tell you, I was like the go for no. I knew the premise of the book was like, hey, that's your goal. Instead of like wanting to get all these yeses, which yes is gonna make you feel like on top of the world. Go for no, because that shows that you are talking to a lot of people, and not everyone is going to say yes right off the bat, and that's okay because they do have the right to say no. Even though you know how amazing this opportunity is, even though you know how great the products are, even though you know what, you know, it will give them what they need, that no might just be momentary for them. Because I've had a lot of people say no to me and then boom, just hit me up like, hey girl, I'm ready to order with you out the blue, and I love when that happens. But on yesterday, it was a super busy day. I started off real strong, following up strong. The whole week had been stellar, working with my new distributor constantly. She's been keeping me on my toes, making me show up as my best self. And I love that. So I'm like, okay, everything's going great. Not enrolling as much as I want, but it's working. I said, we moving. Um, I guess it hit to where it's like I really have been talking to a lot of people, and it's like you feel like, and it's a feeling, so I know it's a lot. But it's like you're spending all this time out of your day, even if you are my people on here who work full-time jobs, y'all can feel, you know, like, okay, I'm doing this time as well, but I'm also giving what all I can to my business. And it's like I'm talking to these people, and are you playing with my time? Like, are you, because we've had full conversations getting into it. Like, yes, I'm real excited. I'm real excited. You watched the video, we're still talking, And it's like, oh, I have to make an investment. And that's when I'll be like, you didn't catch that part in the video? We talked about it, but yeah, we can talk about it some more. Let's talk about it. Oh, no, instant, no. I like, we were just talking. I thought we were besties. Okay. And it just brought my whole, like, not the whole mood down because I was fighting that negative, you know, spirit because I wanted to enjoy my night. But I was like, okay. I said, it's me. I'm lost. I'm confused. I said, okay. But yeah, that's why I wanted to come into the room and get the nuggets from you guys so that I could use it for me as well.
Ooh. Okay, I guess it's my turn. So, what I took from this, from reading this week was uh, about the opportunity that does not knock, you knock, opportunity answers. So it's not always the opportunity. We always want the opportunity to come to us, but we got to be the opportunity so the opportunity can answer us. So, and then your emotional intensity to yes and no should be equal. So, getting yes, getting no, it should be on an equal scale. We shouldn't feel any type of way. We should feel the same way about whether I got a yes or whether I got a no. I should pretty much feel the same and just taking my feelings out of it. It's basically what it said, take the feelings out, and we hear that all the time. Take your feelings out of it. So this has been a really good book, and a lot of it is repetitions of stuff that we've already heard, but hearing it from another perspective just makes it sink in just a little bit different. You be going like, okay. And then I liked it, the some will, some won't, so what, someone's waiting. So somebody gonna say yes, somebody's not, somebody's gonna not gonna want it, but somebody does. So just knowing that somebody's out there waiting. What else did I write down? time and circumstances changes everything for everybody. So you just have to give people time because they may not be ready right now. But then you come back around later and they just might be ready and they tell you, yes, I'm ready. And so that's kind of like what happened to me yesterday. I've been talking to this woman I know a whole year, and she been saying she gonna order something, she gonna get something, I'm gonna get it. And I just happened to just send her a little message yesterday and said, hey, the coffee sale at the end of the night. Are you ready to order? And next thing I know, she done checked out. I was going like, okay. So yeah, she finally was ready. And I've been talking to her, I know, for about a year. And so you just never know when people gonna be ready. And you just have to, like they say, just keep coming back to them and just reminding them, because sometimes people forget, and being okay with they not ready right now. And so that's it. Set a no-go. So I'm setting no-goes. Let's see how many no's I can get.
All right. Anybody else want to share? Keisha, Cassandra, can you share? I don't know if you in the middle of something. Charnel, Tamara, I don't know if you've gotten the book or whatever, or you know what book we're reading, but we are reading Go for No for Network Marketers. I'll drop the link in the comments so you can find it. You can find it try to find it at your local library. I'm using Audible to read it. You can buy it off of Amazon. However you need to, or whatever you need to do to get it in your hands, like it's crucial. It's a good book.
Okay, thank you.
This book is really good. Like to the point where I feel like, man, I was like, man, I need my leadership just to read this book. Like for real. Like this is a really good book. Like maybe we can incorporate it in Newbie Launch.
Yeah, I think it should be one of the books, kind of like Go for No. This should be the book that we need to read as well. So Go for No, and then the other book that we read, Network Marketing. These should be the two books that we read because they really bring out what we're going through on a day-to-day basis. And I just fall in love with the book. I get to read and I be going like, okay, let me go to the next. Can't put it down. It's just so good.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of this stuff, I was just determined to be successful. And so I was able to just go through things, and situations taught me the things in this book. But everybody doesn't have that, or they have to build that muscle. And so sometimes people don't, I say it all the time, don't allow themselves to grow to get to overcoming these things and like learning these lessons that these people are sharing. And so, yes, having something up front to help them get in the place of switching their relationship with hearing the word no, and their perspective of the word no, and just the perspective of, yes, we want to get the yeses, but it's more so of falling in love with the process versus falling in love with the results. And no is a part of the process. And just, man, like the whole, I'm switching everything up when in terms of my newbies. Like we talking about no. Like we ain't talking about yes. We talking about no. How many no's can you get today? Not how many yeses. Because if we can get them to be okay with getting the no's, the yeses obviously are going to come. So as much as this is for me, like Cass said, this is me thinking about my leadership too. So anybody else have anything else they want to share before we get on up out of here? This has been good. If no other aha, Shanice, you want to go ahead and pray us on out? Next, what's the next one? What's the next section? Let me look. You said what?
I'm pulling it up. It is the perils of comfort zone through no means not yet.
Okay. Yep. So that is the section sections that we will be covering next Saturday. Super excited. Oh, I won't be on next Saturday. We won't be on next Saturday, but we still want you guys to meet next Saturday and go over that those sections or whatever, because some of us will be at the retreat. So super excited, y'all. This has been so good. Thank y'all for showing up in this space and chopping it up with me. I think I'm gonna go live in the page about the impact of this book. So if anybody wants to go live with me so we can see if we can get some more people on board, let me know so we can go ahead and do it together. But Shanice, you can go ahead and press out.
All right. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for this time and this space that we get to come together as a team and share our ahas for this book that you have placed on the Money Squad just for us. So we just thank you so much for always thinking of us, always being so kind and so full of grace and so full of mercy. I'm just praying that next week be a great turnout, and the last week it be an even bigger turnout. That Father God, that we are so excited about this book that we can't stop sharing it, that people just want to be a part of it because they might have FOMO. This book is so necessary, and we just thank you for it. I'm just praying that you just allow us to keep implementing the things that we are learning in this book and go out and live it out loud in our business, and that our business is changed because of this book and because of our obedience to the things that we are learning. So, Father God, we just thank you in advance for everything that's to come for this Money Squad, this Black Diamond Squad, and we love you. And it is in Jesus' name that we do pray. Amen.
Let's take a picture before we hop off. 1, 2, 3. All right, y'all. See y'all next Saturday.